is this thing that I'm getting upset about really a life-altering opinion? Is it really a life-altering event? Is what they're saying to me really going to change the course of my day? Only if you let it. Only if you let it. Good morning, brother. Welcome to another morning motivation. I got to be honest, this morning I woke up and full of a little bit of negativity. Not going to lie. But, you know, as I pushed through my morning and as I got to the gym and as I worked out those demons, I feel a hell of a lot better. So welcome to another morning motivation. I hope you could do the same. Look, if you're waking up and you're feeling like shit some days, just know everybody experiences that. You know, nobody is above experiencing negative emotions. It's just how you go about managing them is what really counts, right? Do you let them trickle into the rest of your day? Do you let them leak into other activities that you have planned? You know, do you take them out on other people? You know, do you project the emotion out of you? And projection is a funny thing because when we think about how people see us, you know, we think about people's judgments typically, right? We don't want to be judged by other people. We don't want other people saying bad things about us. We don't want to be seen as somebody that we're not. But what you have to understand about judgment is that people project their negativity onto you, like I was just mentioning, right? Is if you feel a negative emotion, a lot of times it's very easy to just push it out towards other people, right? Like it becomes their problem. Maybe something upset you in your day and you take that with you and then somebody, you know, wasn't paying attention and they bump into you, or maybe somebody's using a weight that you need, or whatever the situation at the gym, whatever the situation is, and then you take out that anger. Even if it's your significant other, maybe they say something to you that rubs you the wrong way and then you were holding on to a negative emotion that you're experiencing from something else and then you lash out on them. This is a very common form of projection. You know, people tend to take their emotions that they feel and put them onto other people. Even their insecurities, not just what you're feeling, but also the things that you believe about yourself, sometimes you'll project on other people. Like, that person's weak, right? That person's passive. If you're projecting that onto somebody else, like if you see that in public, like a lot of, you know, guys, for instance, they'll be like, oh man, that guy's a bitch, right? Oh, he's weak. He's a pussy. You know, he's a weakling, right? What that is you projecting your own insecurities onto somebody else. So if you're the one that's doing that, you need to stop, because it says more about you than it says about the other person. Now, if you're on the receiving end of it, which is more likely, then just know it has nothing to do with you, right? If somebody thinks you're weak, if somebody thinks you're passive, if somebody thinks you're a bitch, if somebody thinks you're a pussy, whatever the case is, that has to do more with the person who's saying that about you than it has to do with you. I want you to think about a truly strong and capable person that didn't have any sort of animosity towards certain things that they deemed unacceptable. They would not project and take that out on you. A truly strong person would not walk around picking on people they perceive to be weak. That is a weak person. So projection is a very big thing, my friend. You know, so if somebody comes up to you and they project something onto you and you're like, where the fuck did that come from? You know, like, and you're trying to make sense out of it, just know it doesn't have to do with you. If someone's angry and starts yelling at you, even on the road, you're driving, somebody flips you off, right? Maybe that person just got laid off from their job, you know? Maybe that person's kid just got expelled from school or something. You know, you don't know what the fucking story is. You don't know what the story is. So, you know, people, when they project out a negative emotion, when they push it onto you, just know that it has nothing to do with you, my friend. It has to do with them. It's what they experience, and it's what they deem to be unacceptable in their life. You know, this is very common with men, you know, when they feel something like envy, right? Envy is a very nasty emotion, like when you're jealous of somebody. You look at some other man and you're like, man, he has something I don't. He has money, he has a bunch of women, maybe he has a body and a physique that I want, or maybe he has prestige and recognition, or maybe he's well-spoken and charismatic, or maybe he's just born better looking than you, right? If you feel envy towards that person, you're not going to want to stick with envy. You're not going to want to be like, oh, I'm jealous. It's a very grimy emotion, right? Instead, you're going to turn it into anger. You're going to get upset. You're going to just take that anger out on somebody else in your day or yourself. There's really two ways to go about it. So you experience the jealousy, you experience the anger because you see somebody that has something that you do not, and it doesn't make sense to you. So then you go one of two ways. The passive-aggressive way is that you take it out on yourself. You self-loathe. You're like, man, I'm worthless. I'm a piece of shit. Why can't I have these things? Am I not good enough? Or you be the person that takes it out more aggressively, like on other people. Like you start to yell, you start to scream, maybe you start to throw shit, maybe you have a temper tantrum. You know, maybe you just start punching shit. If that is the case in either of those situations, well, then what you're doing is you're transferring that feeling of envy into another emotion of anger, and then you're projecting it in a different way. So I'm saying if people are projecting a negative emotion to you out in public, like you just feel like they're coming off too harsh, or they're yelling, they're aggressive, or maybe they're kind of sneaky and conniving and passive aggressive and deceptive, just know that these people are projecting an emotion onto you, either because they don't like something they're experiencing or they're deeming something unacceptable. They take that feeling and they morph it into something more palatable for them. And they take it out on you sometimes. So listen, if you are on the receiving end of that, or if you're the person doing that, just know that that is not, it's not okay. It's not okay to take something, it's not okay to receive something like that and then take it as a form of judgment on yourself, right? If somebody's mean to you, if somebody's aggressive to you, if somebody puts you down, don't take that personally. In the same way, don't be reactive either. Don't engage with it. You know, don't be upset with yourself, and then don't fight back, because all you're going to do is trigger this emotional battle that's going to go back and forth. Because whenever somebody gets triggered, we all heard the word, right? Getting triggered. What happens when you get triggered? Well, you have something called an ego. Your ego is your psychological makeup. It's your identity. And when your ego feels threatened, just like when your body gets threatened, like when you get a sickness inside you, your body attacks it. You got an immune system. Well, your immune system in your brain and in your mind is your ego, right? So if you get attacked, your identity gets attacked, and you feel personally offended by something, your ego is going to go into a defensive mode. And when it goes into a defensive mode, you start to think irrationally. You start to engage in ways that are just not appropriate, right? Maybe you take things out on yourself. Like I said, you're a self-loather. Or maybe you end up taking it out on other people, which is you're more of an aggressor. So listen, do not put any vested real estate and interest, and don't give any of your energy to people who have opinions of you. Who fucking cares? Who cares what people think about you at the end of the day? I told you I wore this shirt like 3 times on a video, knowing fair well many people are going to see it. I don't care. You know why? Because other people's opinion of you should not be the makeup of who you are, right? You shouldn't let other people control your identity. You shouldn't let other people control your feelings. You shouldn't let other people control your decisions in life. You should be the only one in control of those things. So if you're experiencing these things happening to you, if you're experiencing people, forcing you into a corner, belittling you, telling you who you can and can't be, and you're taking that personally, you're getting defensive, you're being passive aggressive, or you're being aggressive, you need to take yourself out of that reactive mode and you need to stop and think for a moment. Is this thing that I'm getting upset about really a life-altering opinion? Is it really a life-altering event? Is what they're saying to me really going to change the course of my day? Only if you let it. Only if you let it. So fuck what other people think. Who cares? Be a fucking slob. If you want to, be fucking sad some days. Be weak or passive. Who the fuck cares, right? Everybody experiences weak points in their life. You should not feel ashamed for it, and don't let other people make you feel ashamed for it. All right, friend, this is the end of the video. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.